We will get going. I want to thank everybody for joining us as we have the cold snap hitting the U.S. And I know we'll be challenging coming off of a holiday with some returns yesterday. So thank you for taking time out of the day. Jeff will not be joining us today, just me flying solo with support of the rest of the eTruckBiz staff. So without further ado, I will get going. Here we go. Once again, thank you for being here to do the ceremonial duties. eTruckBiz is not endorsed, sponsored, approved, or otherwise affiliated with FedEx Corporation. As we always say, we just call them like we see them. Please remember that the eTruckBiz team is here to support you. On how do we do that? We do that through organization of your administrative functions, optimize with your productivity and your efficiency so you can maximize your financial results. Before we get started today, we want to once again remind people that we are having and we would like to invite you a new 2-day seminar on capitalizing on the Network 2.0. So day one, we're going to talk about the economics of Network 2.0, understanding and profiting from significant financial transformation. And this is probably the most significant financial transition. You thought going from an independent contractor to the ISP was significant. This is even more. Day two, shifting drivers' gears, revolutionizing culture, mastering operational methods for the road ahead. Can't tell you how important this is. You have to have the drivers on board with the new thinking in the Network 2.0 and handling these time definite shipments. This will be held February 19th and 20th in Huntsville, Alabama. Just a matter of where we're going to hold this in Huntsville. Okay. Back to the volume trends, pickups last week. You can see they stormed back up 11%. That's always a good sign. And considering the weather, fantastic. The pickup packages, boom, right there. So that was heavily impacted with facilities shut down for 2 days at least. Happy to see that volume bounce back. On the delivery side, the stops came up significantly, 19.19% increase, back above the trend line. So that is good to see. Delivered packages also up above the trend line, 22%. So that means the piece per stop was up last week. And that's always good when your piece per stop is up because you're making more money at every delivery stop. Productivity, how'd we do? Okay, we did dispatch more routes, 17%, but that is less than the number of stops. So what happens? Our productivity went 102.87. We can round that up to 103, 1.5% gain. Fantastic job. Still a little bit below the trend line, but a good increase. Way to cut back on the routes when the roads were bad and people were not delivering packages. So you maximize it when the packages were available. Great job. We did want to focus on some driver methods today because this will be the key to being successful in Network 2.0. And so one of the key things that you have to do is setting goals for each work area. Now, a lot of people say, I know Joe can't do as many stops as Fred on that area, and that's fine, but you still want to have setting a goal for the work area, and then you can adjust on the dispatch on the days that your strongest horse isn't running that route. So set the goals by the work area. You want to make sure your drivers have a good pre-dispatch routine. What does that mean? How early do they get there? What do they go through in the truck? Some drivers like to touch every package on the truck. Is that necessary? Probably not. But then again, some preloads are a disaster, and it might be. But remember, that driver is working in that truck. If they're an hour before the planned dispatch, quite frankly, they can touch every package and they can set that truck up for success. But the biggest thing is they want to make sure that they have their 1,000, their 1,500 section set up with the floor set up for the 1,000, 2,000s as well. And then you want to train for on-road efficiency. What does that mean? The methods that the drivers follow while they're on the road. Okay. Talked
Hey,
about,
Ken.
go ahead, Bob.
Hey, real quick too, especially for a new person or someone that's struggling. They've been around for 90 days, but they seem to struggle. I'd get in the habit of having them gather their first 10 stops and having pull you over when you're ready, when they got them. So before they leave, you go look at them, look at the first 10 stops. That will get them in the habit of knowing where the first 10 are, and then after that, the second 10, the third 10, the fourth 10. But that will help them stay efficient out there and not get lost trying to find the package at each stop.
And we will go into much more details in Huntsville about setting that truck up, and do they know, where their next special stop is, meaning a call tag? Do they know where their next pickup stop is? Do they know which their first stop out the front door, which the first stop out the back door? So those are things that we'll discuss. But where do you get these goals? We say you can use historical data that is available in the eTruckBiz system. You can get it by work area, you can get it by driver, or by truck. We always say, as I was saying, set it up by area, by work area. And in this case, this driver is doing 7.82, or this route is doing 17.82 stops per hour. On road, 7.24. Got to have your trucks on the road at least 7 hours. So in this case, I can come up with a min max, but I'm going to hold my driver to 17.82 stops. So if I take 17.82 times 7 hours, I know this truck's got to go out with at least 125 stops. If I want it on the road in 8.5 hours, I'm going to take 8 times 17.82. So basically for this route, I would have a min max of 125 to 151. And I'm going to hold my driver accountable to this 17.82 stops per hour. And I took, you probably don't want to use peak in this time period. I ran it for the whole month of November prior to Thanksgiving. So this is one place to find your goals and to use them to set them. Okay. The other place, and this is where you can verify if those goals are right, is to set up a driver with an observation ride. So you have your BC ride along with the driver, and you can record the stop information, and basically you're timing them at every stop, and you want to see if they are wasting time, how much time are they wasting. If they're running, they're actually, you want to add time to that because you don't want the driver running. You want them walking at a brisk pace to each stop. And then you could come up with a min max based off of this, and you can verify your min maxes. These are not always popular with BCs, but I can tell you it's the most accurate way to see what your driver can do. And I can imagine the first time your BC rides with the driver's going to tell them, boy, you should have rode with me last Thursday, or because today's the easiest day I've ever had. That's what happens on the road. But utilize this tool. If you would like a copy of this, please let me know, and I will email you a copy of this observation ride form. Okay. Building routine. This is pre-dispatch. What should your drivers be doing? Sort the truck prior to dispatch. And as Bob said, he said 10 stops. Knowing their next 5 stops is a routine that we say, what's the next one out the front door? What's the next stop out the back door? What's my next pickup stop? What's my next call tag stop? What's my next bulk delivery? If your driver can name those before they leave the building, they're in good shape. If they can name 10, as Bob said, fantastic. And are those 10 set up properly? Okay, on the road, are they following the most efficient, optimized travel path? Or are they circling stops to go where they want to go? Do they have a proper at stop cab routine? Meaning when they pull up, Do they put the truck in gear? Do they pull the keys? Do they, if the bulkhead door is shut, how do they open it? Of course, do they set the parking brake? What is that in cab routine? Is it set up? Are they doing it at every stop? What's the selection area routine? Are they pulling from section 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000? Or are they walking all the way back to section 7,000? And you can see a lot of this just on the Veeder. Bob, have you found any drivers not following the methods on the Veeder and find some scary stuff on the Veeder?
Yeah, most of them. It's just a matter of two. Just pull it and get done with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull stuff forward. You want to minimize steps.
Yeah.
Want to minimize steps as much as possible.
Yep. The cab of the truck is not the selection area, please. I saw some Veeder videos today that made me cringe. Those packages are in the bulk back behind that bulkhead for a reason, because if that truck's traveling at 60 miles an hour and it suddenly stops, the packages in the back are still traveling at 60 miles an hour. Are they using that selection area properly? Are they exiting the vehicle properly? 3 points of contact. Do they have a stop routine for residentials? Do they have a stop routine for business? Do they have a stop routine for the multiple package stops out the back? And then when they return to the vehicle, do they have a routine in cab when they leave? So if you ever follow a UPS driver, normally at a residential stop, it's about 45 seconds, but they rarely spend more than 10 seconds in the back of the truck, and they rarely go more than 2 to 3 steps into the back of the truck because they are reducing their walking. And I would say this is your biggest opportunity. What it does, it makes life easier for the driver. And it's difficult with the big boxes. There's no doubt about it. Some of those boxes they'll have to wrestle around with, but what you're looking for, are they able to do this efficiently on 95% of their stops? Now we're going to go into some of the updates with the Optics app. This is a great place to manage your drivers, if we say like a pro. Here are some of the most recent updates. You can see you got the menu down here, new settings there. Stop notes can now be added even in not just an eRoute, they can be added from the Optics app. You can add or edit stop notes for each location to ensure details are captured. Really important if you've got a swing driver or a new driver on a route, the stop notes are very helpful to new drivers for anything. It also improves communication and visibility with the driver. Time commitments. This is all about Network 2.0 right here. You can flag stops with time definite deliveries and pickup windows for priority handling. You can see down here, this is the pickups. This was just added recently, and you will get an alert once you're within 30 minutes of the window closing on a pickup. It's right here. So this is obviously within 30 minutes of this window closing. It highlights it just like we have done with the time definite stops. The app clearly marks and highlights the urgent stops, deliveries needing to be completed, packages within 30 minutes. Okay. On-road alerts, easily keep track of your entire team right there. Highlight urgent stops, once again, as a big overview. I can see we've got one urgent stop right there, and it's on the pickup side. Okay. Vehicle management report. This was also added as well. You can see the driver here. Of course, the driver, I can see their wages here. I can see the days are available. I can make any adjustments to driver wages in there. And then my equipment, I can see all the status. And then we've also given you the ability to attach registrations as well as any other documents that you would like to make. Anything to add to that? Did I miss anything on that, Bob? Or Mason?
No, I don't think so. I think you
Okay.
got it wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Something alarming, and we're pushing the efficiency. We're talking about the efficiency, doing the right things, because just last week we know of 3 contractors that were terminated, as well as an additional one that just walked away. And the reason most contractors walk away is they can't make money. And that's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for the contractor. And of course, it's difficult for FedEx because then they have to pay contingency. You say they could have paid more and kept that driver. They're going to hold the line on their cost, and they believe the settlement is right, unless you can prove them wrong. So efficiency will absolutely determine whether your business will be successful, because FedEx will not pay for inefficient contractors anymore. So please be aware of that. If the station's telling you're inefficient, they're going to start to really push you. Understand that. Okay. But because of that, we did develop the business support system, and we think we know we're there to help you, as we said, with the 3 programs. And if you say, what's this all about? Please book an appointment with Becca so you can learn exactly what you can get. And with that, Becca, would you like to tell them what the business support system is for?
Yes. So the business support system is for service providers transitioning to Network 2.0, service providers expanding their operations to multiple facilities, service providers new to the business, and lastly, service providers who are remote.
And
what the business support system includes is there are 3 different programs. There's the Administrative Services Manager program. This is focusing on all of your administrative tasks so that you can manage your time effectively. And then you have the Optimized Performance program. This is going to maximize your efficiency, as Ken was just speaking about. And then lastly, we have the Expense Management program to control your costs. So there's 3 different programs included in the business support system. But basically, this is going to simplify your payroll, HR, benefits, recruiting, finance, productivity, taxes and accounting, time tracking, and so much more. If you want to book an appointment, you can always email me at becca@eTruckBiz.com, and I can send you my calendar link. We also are offering the budget analysis to be completed for you as well. Just get with me. Go ahead, Ken, on the next slide. It will show them my contact info. So if you go to asm.etruckbiz.com, that will automatically have my calendar on there as well. So whatever fits your schedule. And then there's going to be a little bit of information that I'll need for you in order for us to create this operating budget and financial management plan for you. So I would be in contact as soon as you book an appointment. I'll get with you. And then we'll go over the different programs in the business support system as well, and I can answer any questions that you may have on that. And that's just some of the data that we would need that I would contact you about.
Excellent. Definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. If the only thing you get out of it is a budget and you can see what your easy number is, you're far ahead away, heads and tails above any other CSP in your building. And it tells you, what you've got to do to be financially successful in your operation. But as I said, we're here to support that, be it back office functions or the operational and financial functions. Okay. Does look like we have 3 things in the chat. It says, is this a comparable period? Is the gain over the prior week? Yes, those gains are for the charts are definitely over the week over week, and then we also compare it year over year. So yes, those are viable comparisons. Like I said, year over year, and then we show the growth each week. So are there any other questions about the Optics app? If you want to see more of it, I can definitely show you that. There's so many benefits to the Optics app, seeing your revenue on a daily basis, seeing your revenue by route, seeing your cost by route, all things in real time that nobody else is going to offer you. So you have a great grasp on your operational functions and your costs in your operation each day. Okay, so I would like to see the optics app. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to the optics app. All right, can everybody see my phone? Are we good there?
Yep, we can see it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, excellent. So this is what's happening on the road in this operation right here. You can see I've got an alert on this driver about 8 packages that were time definite that there's now an alert for. If I want to drill down on that, all I have to do is hit that and it's going to give me the route. I can see the time definites in there in the orange. I can see which ones are late. If I just wanted to see the time definites, come down here where it says time definites, and it tells me there's 11 that are due. And I want to see those in order. Come up here, I click that, and I can see the time definites. This one was due at 10:30, still hasn't been delivered. Okay, hopefully at 10 o'clock, I'm gonna sit and probably start making some calls. But as you can see here, we've got several that are late on this route. Okay. And this does basically takes us into the E route. So this is what your driver would see if they were on this route that day. Okay. Also down here on the dashboard, I can see my inbound local service, my delivered stops, time definite stops, pickup stops, how many exceptions have counted against me right here, and my stops per hour. If I go over here to performance, I can see each driver and I can see how many remaining stops they have, what time their estimated last stop. This really comes into effect after lunch. If this guy does not increase his stops per hour, it's not going to finish until 9:30 at night. Chances are he probably has. Gives you the first stop right there. And you can see right here, we've set up min maxes in this operation. He was dispatched with 137, so really right in the range. So I know got a good dispatch here, but is he behind? Oops, sorry about that. I just bumped that. So I can see that on every single route that I've got. If I go to the overall, click down there, and I can sort this if I have multiple CSI, sort it by CSA, 13 to 13 routes, 24 urgent packages due within 30 minutes, 29% complete. Here's my time definites that are complete. Stop. And then I can see 55 10:30s, 27 noons, 53 by 5 p.m., 59 by 8 p.m. Okay. And then I can see my stops per dispatch for today right there. And then I can take a look. So 106 today, last Tuesday, we're at 111. So we're not doing as well as we did last Wednesday. And I can see the whole last week there. Okay. Looks like we got a couple questions here real quick. Would like information on the CSA optimization stuff. Derek McCoy, can you reach out, Becca?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then another one, what services can you provide to help with acquisition of a P&D business? Carrie, do you want that one?
Sure. If you could contact me directly at carey@eTruckBiz.com. We offer many services depending on what your needs are. We have a report that actually gives you an analysis on a business if you're already looking at one. And we have many other services that can help you with your acquisition needs. So if you could contact me directly, that would be wonderful.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Carrie. The other one said, you mentioned a CSP who walked away. Do you have an example of a CSP who you worked with, was not making money, and you consulted them back to profitability? Yeah, we've got several of those. And the most recent one was a new owner who was taken over, was told that 100 stops per dispatch is what all you can do. No, can't do that anymore. This new owner took over at peak and saw a 46% increase in the productivity through peak, and they've been able to maintain that. So quite frankly, financially, they probably would have struggled through to get peak, but they actually thrived. And that's one example. And this person got with us before they started the business. They took it over. They said there was resistance, but the biggest thing that this person got was buy-in from the BC. What we notice is businesses that struggle don't get the buy-in from the BC. They are the most important person in your operation. They can't just be the friend of the drivers. They have to understand what it takes to make money in your operation. They have to be open to changing routes, not just it's always been done that way. So that is what we've seen. The biggest paralysis of a business is the BC not willing to change. Okay. I'll show you up here now. Here's the time commitments. See, I can sort these time commitments by time. So if I want to now look at my noons, I just scroll down and change that to noon and hit done. And there's my noons. It tells me if they're late in here. And so I'm keeping score on this one, and not a good day. Hopefully there's a weather exemption in this area, and there might be, but this operation looks like they're struggling a little bit with the time definites today. Other things that you can do on here, if I go back to the 8 p.m.s, these are residentials. If I click here, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click on this stop, and I can click on it, and I can get straight to the tracking information. If it was a residential and your driver took a picture, it would pop up right here, but this one was delivered and signed for. Okay, so you have access to what your drivers are doing and what pictures they're taking right there on the road. Okay, and then here's the pickup stop one. It said all your alerts are going to go right here. If you're within 30 minutes, they'll start to flash. Okay. And if I want to see by route, how many 1030s. If I know a driver's not going to hit an area until 10 o'clock in the morning and he's got 6, he or she's got 6, I might be in trouble there. Okay. So I always want to see how many 1030s are on each route and make sure that I balance it out. If I have to move any, here's one at 9. If this guy only does 15 stops per hour and he's hitting the area at 10 o'clock, there's no way that they can get 9 stops off. Okay. So these are just some of the highlights of the Optics app. You want to see it more in detail, please let me know. I think it is the most powerful tool without a doubt in the industry. Nobody else is offering that. The other thing on the overall, if I scroll down, you can see your revenue each day here as well. This one's not populated because it wasn't updated yet, but you can see your revenue, and then you can see your revenue by route here. A lot of great questions today. We do try to keep these to a minimum. As I said, if you are interested in seeing the Optics app and some of our other tools, please reach out to Becca or myself, and we would love to show you these. We will be back here next Tuesday again. Jeff plans on being back here. And if we don't talk to you before then, please have a safe and profitable week. Thank you very much.